You're watching the Fantasy Football Fallout Quarterback Edition. We're talking about Week 2 waiver wire plays, but we're also going to talk about what happened in Week 1 and how it relates to Week 2. We will give you those waiver wire plays at the end of the video. If that's all you care about, click on the timestamp below. They'll take you right there. Before we do that, we're going to talk about who was projected to score in the top 10, who actually scored in the top 10, and we're going to hand out our weekly awards this week. We have a nut kick. One quarterback kicked a lot of people in the nuts this week. We're going to tell you who that is. And then we also have the I'm Watching You award. Everybody should be paying attention to one name out there, and it's somebody that is on everybody's, well, not everybody's, but most people's waiver wire list. So let's talk about who was projected to score in the top 10 according to ESPN. Now, by the way, in a couple weeks, I'm going to add my computer projections in here. We didn't get a preseason. My projections, my algorithms are all wonky right now. I'm trying to sift through everything. If you can see the bags under my eyes, I've been watching football all day. Poor me, right? Boo-hoo. But I'm going to be watching. I have like another 4 games to watch tonight to catch up on Game Pass. So I'm busy. At Week 3, we're going to have my projections here. For now, we're going to go with ESPN's projections. The number 1 quarterback, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, the ones in white were the ones that ESPN got correct within the top 10. They hit 5 out of the 10 quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, and Carson Wentz. Now, who actually scored in the top 10? Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, Mitchell Trubisky, Kirk Cousins, Tom Brady, Gardner Minshew, and Phillip Rivers. Couple of notes here. Cam Newton, it's the first eyes that we got on Cam Newton as a quarterback. You could see what the Patriots were doing. They are running him quite a bit. He reminds me a little bit more of how the San Francisco 49ers used Colin Kaepernick, and maybe even a bit of how the Baltimore Ravens used Lamar Jackson last year. Now, and by the way, those are both Greg Roman offenses. The Patriots have been sniffing around a running type quarterback for a while, even to pair with Tom Brady. It's interesting to see how he evolves as a passer. I have not watched the game yet. I'm going to catch up on this later tonight, but I could see the highlights. I could see what the offense was doing, how they were calling their plays. Very interesting, but I'll have more insight on that as we go along. Mitchell Trubisky, who had Mitchell Trubisky scoring more fantasy points than Patrick Mahomes this week? Did you? No, of course not. But look, he's better when he uses his legs. He waited until about halfway through the fourth quarter to show up, and he did it. Kirk Cousins, same thing. It was a lot of kind of sloppy play to begin the games this week here and there. And a lot of quarterbacks just went nuts in the third and the fourth quarter. We saw that. Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins, they both did that. Tom Brady did wind up in the top 10. Gardner Minshew ended up in the top 10. Phillip Rivers. So a lot of people, again, Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, they played fantastic, I thought, on Thursday night. Didn't get into the top 10. That just goes to show you, quarterback, especially if you're not in a super flex league, you can plug and play these quarterbacks. You can stream them if you want to. There's always value there. Now, let's get to our awards of the week. The first one I always like to give away is the Kick to the Crotch Award of the week, and that goes to Tom Brady. Now, he did finish in the top 10, right? So we can't hit him too bad, but for people who really get nailed with turnovers, and if you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, this one was a kick to the groin. Look, Tampa Bay, they kind of get rid of Jameis Winston. They bring Tom Brady in, and the one thing you think with Tom Brady is, well, he's not going to throw for 30 interceptions. He's on pace to right now. Is he going to? Of course not. He's not going to. But that's a little bit of a letdown for us optically, and that was a national TV game. We wanted to see kind of Brady and Brees go after each other there. Didn't really pan out that way, but hey, if you had Brady in your lineup, he still got you decent points, so that's good news. I'm going to give away another award now, my I'm Watching You award, and that goes to Gardner Minshew. I think he was 19 or 20. I've been saying this all off season long. First of all, he uses his legs better than you think he would, so he's going to get you some rushing uplift if you have a format where you need those rushing yards. But he's in the offensive system with Jay Gruden there that made Kirk Cousins a very viable top 10 quarterback and Andy Dalton a top 10 quarterback. He is available on waivers. Let's just talk about my top waiver quarterback pickups of the week. First and foremost, like I'm saying, Gardner Minshew, he's only owned in about 14.9% of leagues as of the time of this recording. Ben Roethlisberger is owned, that's the typo there, he's actually owned in about 65% of the leagues right now. I'd try to keep it under 50%, but Roethlisberger, he's only owned in 65% of the league. If you can pick him up before, I'm recording this on Sunday night, if you can pick him up before that Monday Night Football game, that's probably a good idea for you. Jared Goff, 42.1% of the leagues. The Rams were able to move the ball efficiently. They just ran the ball this week and scored touchdowns that way, but he will be a viable starter for you if you need it, if you're in a pinch. Jimmy Garoppolo, same kind of thing. He didn't have any receivers, anybody really to throw to. There was a time where Kittle was off the field there. So Garoppolo will get some uplift there as well. Teddy Bridgewater, I like what he showed. Now McCaffrey got the touchdowns there. Bridgewater's number could have been a lot better. Hit Robbie Anderson. DJ Moore, not really so much, but this offense actually looked a little bit better than I was expecting it to for week 1 of the NFL season. There is room to improve, and there is skill on that offense. And think about how many screen passes he's going to be able to throw to Christian McCaffrey this year and get in the end zone as well. So there you go. There are my waiver wire selections, my awards, and what happened in week 1 fantasy football for quarterbacks. Week 2 prep. Get ready. I'm going to be following up later in the week with some more projections and everything. So as we get more news, as we get more idea of kind of what the matchups are going to be, obviously the Monday Night Football games are going to be played. Check back, and we'll have calibrated projections for week 2. Thanks, everyone.